It's not the massive, life-altering decisions that shape our future. It's the small, seemingly insignificant ones, the ones we repeat daily without a second thought. What if the difference between success and failure was hidden in what you do when no one's watching? This is the quiet revolution of everyday life. The revolution of atomic habits. Welcome to NovoBook. Today, we explore Atomic Habits by James Clear, a transformative guide to behavior change and personal growth. Published in 2018, this powerful non-fiction work is rooted in psychology, neuroscience, and personal experience. It doesn't just teach you how to build better habits. It teaches you how to become the kind of person who never stops growing. The book's central theme is deceptively simple. Tiny changes, remarkable results. But beneath that simplicity lies a life-altering truth, one that we'll now uncover together. Let's begin, not with a rulebook, but with a story. James Clear opens with a chilling moment in sports history. A young British cyclist named James Moore breaks the silence of a velodrome with his first Olympic lap. But Great Britain's cycling team remains a national embarrassment. For over a century, they win almost nothing. Then comes Dave Brailsford, a performance director with a radical idea. He believes that if they improve everything related to cycling by just 1%, those small improvements will compound. He starts adjusting bike seats for comfort. He experiments with massage gels. He even paints the inside of the team truck white to spot dust that might interfere with performance. Within a few years, Britain's cycling team begins to dominate. They win multiple Tour de France titles and Olympic golds. This story lays the foundation for Clear's thesis. Small habits, compounded over time, can lead to extraordinary results. So, what exactly is an atomic habit? Think of the word atomic. It means tiny like an atom, but it also implies powerful, the energy of atomic structure. An atomic habit, then, is a small behavior that is part of a larger system, one that can build into life-changing transformation. James Clear's philosophy is both scientific and spiritual in nature. At its core is the idea that you do not rise to the level of your goals, you fall to the level of your systems. Most people focus on goals: lose 10 kilograms, earn more money, write a book. But Clear invites us to shift our focus from outcomes to systems. If your system is broken, your goals won't matter. Instead of asking, "What do I want to achieve?" ask, "What kind of person do I want to become?" The book then guides us through the 4 laws of behavior change, a framework for building better habits. Let's take them one by one, slowly. 1. Make it obvious. We often think we're in control of our behavior, but much of what we do is on autopilot. Our environment cues our habits. The phone buzzes, we check it. We walk into the kitchen, we snack. We wake up, we reach for coffee before even opening our eyes fully. To build better habits, Clear suggests we must first become aware of them. One tool he offers is the Habit Scorecard, a simple exercise where you list your daily habits and mark them as positive, negative, or neutral. Awareness is the first step toward change. Next, he encourages implementation intentions, clear statements like, "I will meditate for 10 minutes at 7 am in the living room." Specificity turns vague desires into reliable routines. And finally, habit stacking, pairing a new habit with an existing one. For example, after I brush my teeth, I will read 1 page of a book. In this way, old habits become anchors for new ones. To make it attractive. Let's face it, we do what's appealing. Bad habits are hard to break because they bring immediate pleasure. Good habits, on the other hand, often feel like effort. James Clear introduces the idea of temptation bundling, combining a behavior you want to do with a behavior you need to do. Imagine saying, "I'll only watch my favorite Netflix show while I'm on the treadmill." Suddenly, the workout becomes more attractive. Social influence also plays a role. We tend to adopt the habits of those around us, our family, our peers, even strangers we admire. That's why surrounding yourself with people who live the way you aspire to live is one of the fastest ways to change. At this point in the book, Clear subtly shifts from strategy to identity. He poses a bold question. Are you trying to change your habits or your identity? Most people focus on what they want to achieve, but sustainable change comes from who you believe you are. You want to stop smoking? Don't say, "I'm trying to quit." Say, "I'm not a smoker." Identity-based habits create alignment between your actions and your self-image. And once behavior aligns with belief, it becomes automatic. 3. Make it easy. So now you're aware of your habits. You've made them attractive, anchored them to your identity. But now comes the most powerful lever of all, simplicity. James Clear reminds us, habits are not a finish line to be crossed, they are a lifestyle to be lived. To build new habits, you must first make them easy. Don't start with 20 push-ups, start with 2. Don't try to write a chapter, just open the document. This is the 2-minute rule. When you start a new habit, it should take less than 2 minutes to do. You may think that's pointless, but the goal is not to accomplish something grand. The goal is to become the type of person who shows up. And once you've shown up, the momentum carries you forward. Clear also discusses the importance of reducing friction. Make good habits easier and bad habits harder. For example, want to eat healthier? Keep fruit on the counter, hide the chips. Want to reduce screen time? Delete social media apps from your phone. Design your environment so that your habits are supported by default. At this point in Atomic Habits, something becomes clear. The book isn't about achieving one shining goal. It's about becoming the kind of person who naturally succeeds not through motivation, but through systemized living. It's about using the invisible architecture of your life to shape your future. As we reach the midpoint of this journey, one truth stands out. Success is the product of daily habits, not once-in-a-lifetime transformations. And in the next part, we'll explore the final law, make it satisfying, along with deeper insights into how habits shape performance, identity, and even legacy. But remember, the most powerful habits are not the loudest ones. They're the quiet routines shaping your destiny while you aren't even paying attention. Small actions, repeated consistently, shape not just your outcomes, but your identity. And your identity shapes your destiny. Welcome back to NovoBook. This is part 2 of Atomic Habits by James Clear, a quiet yet profound exploration of how the tiniest changes can transform your entire life. In part 1, we uncovered the power of compounding habits, the 4 laws of behavior change, and how identity-based systems can turn fleeting motivation into lasting transformation. Now, let's pick up where we left off, with the 4th and final law. 4. Make it satisfying. We are wired to repeat actions that feel good. If a behavior is immediately rewarding, we're more likely to do it again. But here's the paradox. Bad habits often feel good now and hurt later. Good habits often feel hard now but reward us in the future. So, how do we bridge the gap? James Clear introduces a key principle. What is immediately rewarded is repeated. What is immediately punished is avoided. To make good habits stick, we must make the ending satisfying. This doesn't mean grand rewards. Even simple things like checking off a habit tracker or placing a coin in a jar can give your brain that sense of closure and achievement. This is where visual proof becomes powerful. Each mark on a calendar, each tiny reward reinforces your identity. I'm the kind of person who follows through. Clear also offers a crucial insight. Don't break the chain. If you miss a habit once, that's okay, but never miss twice. A missed workout doesn't ruin your progress, but the second miss becomes a pattern. The goal is not perfection. It's consistency. Advanced tactics, going beyond the basics. As the book progresses, Clear moves from habit formation to habit mastery. He explores how to sustain motivation, especially after the novelty wears off. This is known as the plateau of latent potential. It's that frustrating space where you're putting in the effort, but you don't see the results yet. You're going to the gym, but your body hasn't changed. You're writing every day, but the book still feels far away. And then, seemingly overnight, it clicks. Clear calls this the valley of disappointment. Most people quit in this valley. But those who persist, they experience the exponential returns of compounding effort. Because habits, he reminds us, are like the process of heating an ice cube. You add 1 degree at a time, and nothing happens. Until, at 32 degrees, it suddenly melts. Success is not always visible. It's often quietly accumulating, waiting for a breakthrough. The role of genetics and personality. Clear also addresses an often ignored factor in habit formation. Your natural tendencies. Not everyone is wired the same. Some people thrive in the morning. Others come alive at night. Some crave novelty. Others crave routine. instead of fighting who you are. He urges you to align your habits with your personality. If you're a talker, don't force silent meditation. Try a walking discussion group. If you're analytical, build a habit tracker that satisfies your love for data. You'll be more successful when your habits work with your nature, not against it. Habits and mastery. Once you've built a habit, how do you avoid stagnation? Clear emphasizes the value of deliberate practice. True mastery comes not just from repetition, but from continually refining and pushing just beyond your current level. As habits become automatic, it's easy to plateau. So the solution? Stay consciously engaged. Review, adjust, and stretch your limits just a little bit. That's how progress continues. The downside of good habits. Interestingly, Clear doesn't shy away from the dark side of habits. Yes, habits can build empires, but they can also build prisons. When we identify too strongly with our routines, we risk becoming rigid. We say, "I'm a runner," and suddenly an injury threatens our entire self-image. Or we pride ourselves on productivity, and a day of rest feels like failure. That's why Clear suggests keeping your identity fluid. You are not just what you do. You are someone who is always becoming. Flexibility, adaptability, these are habits too. The aggregation of marginal gains. As we near the end of the book, Clear returns to where it all began. Small changes, compounded over time. It's easy to overestimate the power of one defining moment, and underestimate the power of 1,000 small ones. A single push-up won't make you strong. A single dollar won't make you wealthy. A single page won't make you a writer. But stack those habits together day by day, choice by choice, and the transformation is inevitable. Clear calls this the aggregation of marginal gains, the philosophy that tiny improvements, repeated endlessly, lead to massive change. So what have we truly learned from Atomic Habits? Not that habits are easy, not that change happens overnight, but that the path to a better life is within reach, one small step at a time. A habit is not a finish line to cross. It's a system to live by. Success is not a goal. It's a process of becoming. And in the end, we become what we repeatedly do. Thank you for spending this time with NovoBook. If this summary of Atomic Habits gave you clarity or inspiration, consider subscribing for more calm, thoughtful explorations of powerful books. We'd love to hear your thoughts. Share your favorite takeaway in the comments. And if this story of small changes resonated with you, feel free to share it with someone you care about. Until next time, keep showing up, keep becoming.